Welcome to Inkhaven Presents Readings from the Archive, where I bring internet writers who I respect and admire on the podcast to bring and share an essay or a piece of writing that they read and love or hold dear to their hearts or influence them greatly. And they read it for us, and then we get to discuss it. My guest today is Rusty from Slime Mold Time Mold, where they do much mad science blogging. She and her collaborators have been writing there for over 6 years with over 200 posts on topics from drugs to government to culture to cybernetics. There's also been a big focus on obesity and environmental contaminants and lots of just fun mad science. They write infinite links posts. I think I first learned about slime mold time mold when all my friends started eating potatoes for a while to have lots of people in a potato diet study. And some of my friends still eat quite a lot of potatoes as a result of that. Anyway, thank you very much for being on the podcast today. What have you brought for us to read today?
I have brought My Immortal, an internet classic of fan fiction, a little bit of an unusual piece, slightly challenging to read, written in a unique style. But I think everybody who was on the early internet will also recognize that writing style.
Wonderful. I had not read this until today, but I'm looking forward to hearing your reading of it. Thanks very much. Let's have a listen to that.
This is My Immortal by XXX Bloody Wrists 666 XXX. Chapter 1. Author's Note. Special thanks, get it, 'cause I'm gothic, to my GF, ew, not in that way, Raven, Bloody Tears 666, for helping me with the story and spelling. You rock. Justin, you're the love of my depressing life. You rock too. MCR rocks. Hi, my name is Ebony Darkness, Dementia Raven Way, and I have long ebony black hair. That's how I got my name, with purple streaks and red tips that reaches my mid-back, and icy blue eyes like limpid tears, and a lot of people tell me I look like Amy Lee. Author's note, if you don't know who she is, get the hell out of here. I'm not related to Gerard Way, but I wish I was, because he's a major fucking hottie. I'm a vampire, but my teeth are straight and white. I have pale white skin. I'm also a witch, and I go to a magic school called Hogwarts in England, where I'm in the 7th year. I'm 17. I'm a goth, in case you couldn't tell, and I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic, and I buy all my clothes from there. For example, today I was wearing a black corset with matching lace around it and a black leather miniskirt, pink fishnets, and black combat boots. I was wearing black lipstick, white foundation, black eyeliner, and red eyeshadow. I was walking outside Hogwarts. It was snowing and raining, so there was no sun, which I was very happy about. A lot of preps stared at me. I put up my middle finger at them. Hey, Ebony, shouted a voice. I looked up. It was Draco Malfoy. What's up, Draco? I asked. Nothing, he said shyly, but then I heard my friends call me, and I had to go away. Author's note. Is it good? Please tell me, Fangs. Chapter 2. Author's note. Fangs to Bloody Tears 666 for helping me with the chapter. BTW, perhaps stop flaming my story, okay. The next day, I woke up in my bedroom. It was snowing and raining again. I opened the door of my coffin and drank some blood from a bottle I had. My coffin was black ebony, and inside it was hot pink velvet and black lace on the ends. I got out of my coffin and took off my giant MCR t-shirt, which I used for pajamas. Instead, I put on a black leather dress, a pentagram necklace, combat boots, and black fishnets on. I put on 4 pairs of earrings in my pierced ears and put my hair in a kind of messy bun. My friend Willow, author's note, Raven, this is you, woke up then and grinned at me. She flipped her long, waist-length raven black hair with pink streaks and opened her forest green eyes. She put on her Marilyn Manson t-shirt with a black mini, fishnets, and pointy high-heeled boots. We put on our makeup, black lipstick, white foundation, and black eyeliner. OMFG, I saw you talking to Draco Malfoy yesterday, she said excitedly. Yeah, so? I said, blushing. Do you like Draco? She asked as we went out of the Slytherin common room and into the Great Hall. No, I so fucking don't, I shouted. Yeah, right, she exclaimed. Just then, Draco walked up to me. Hi, he said. Hi, I replied flirtily. Guess what? He said. What? I asked. Well, Good Charlotte are having a concert in Hogsmeade, he told me. Oh my fucking god! I screamed. I love GC. They are my favorite band, besides MCR. Well, do you want to go with me? He asked. I gasped. Chapter 3. Author's note. Stop flammin' de story, preps, okay? Otherwise, thanks to the Gothic people for the good reviews. Thanks again, Raven. Oh yeah, BTW, I don't own this or the lyrics for Good Charlotte. On the night of the concert, I put on my black lace-up boots with high heels. Underneath them were ripped red fishnets. Then I put on a black leather mini dress with all this corset stuff on the back and front. I put on matching fishnet on my arms. I straightened my hair and made it look all spiky. I felt a little depressed then, so I slit one of my wrists. I read a depressing book while I waited for it to stop bleeding, and I listened to some Good Charlotte. I painted my nails black, and I put on tons of black eyeliner. Then I put on some black lipstick. I didn't put on foundation because I was pale anyway. I drank some human blood, so I was ready to go to the concert. I went outside. Draco was waiting there in front of his flying car. He was wearing a Simple Plan t-shirt. They would play at the show too. Baggy black skater pants, black nail polish, and a little eyeliner. Author's note. A lot faux cool boys wear it okay. Hi, Draco, I said in a depressed voice. Hi, Ebony, he said back. We walked into his flying black Mercedes-Benz, the license plate said 666, and flew to the place with the concert. On the way, we listened excitedly to Good Charlotte and Marilyn Manson. We both smoked cigarettes and drugs. When we got there, we both hopped out of the car. We went to the mosh pit at the front of the stage and jumped up and down as we listened to Good Charlotte. You come in the cold, you're covered in blood, they're all so happy you've arrived. The doctor cuts your cord, hands you to your mom, she sets you free into this life, sang Joel. I don't own the lyrics to that song. Joel is so fucking hot, I said to Draco, pointing to him as he sung, filling the club with his amazing voice. Suddenly, Draco looked sad. What's wrong? I asked as we moshed to the music. Then I caught on. Hey, it's okay, I don't like him better than you, I said. Really? Asked Draco sensitively, and he put his arm around me all protective. Really? I said. Besides, I don't even know Joel, and he's going out with Hillary fucking Duff. I fucking hate that little bitch, I said disgustingly, thinking of her ugly blonde face. That night went on really well, and I had a great time. So did Draco. After the concert, we drank some beer and asked Benji and Joel for their autographs and photos with them. We got GC concert tees. Draco and I crawled back into the Mercedes-Benz, but Draco didn't go back into Hogwarts. Instead, he drove the car into the Forbidden Forest. Chapter 4. Author's note. I said stop Fleming, okay? Ebony's name is Ennaby, not Mary Sue, okay? Draco is so in love with her that he is acting different. They know each other before, okay? Draco, I shouted. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Draco didn't answer, but he stopped the flying car and he walked out of it. I walked out of it too, curiously. What the fucking hell? I asked angrily. Ebony? He asked. What? I snapped. Draco leaned in extra close, and I looked into his gothic red eyes. He was wearing color contacts, which revealed so much depressing sorrow and evilness. And then suddenly, I didn't feel mad at him anymore. And then, suddenly, just as Draco, kissed me passionately, Draco climbed on top of me and we started to make out keenly against a tree. He took of my top and I took of his clothes. I even took of my bra. Then he put his thingy into my you-know-what and we did it for the first time. Oh, 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 I screamed. I was beginning to get an orgasm. We started to kiss everywhere, and my pale body became all warm. And then, what the hell are you doing, you motherfuckers? It was Dumbledore. Chapter 5. Author's note. Stop flamming. If you flam, it means you are a prep or a poser. The only reason Dumbledore swore is because he had a headache Okay, and on top of that, he was mad at them for having sex. P.S. I'm not updating until I get 5 good reviews. Dumbledore made and Draco, and I follow him. He kept shouting at us angrily. You ludicrous fools, he shouted. I started to cry tears of blood down my pallid face. Draco comforted me. When we went back to the castle, Dumbledore took us to Professor Snake and Professor McGonagall, who were both looking very angry. They were having sexual intercourse in the Forbidden Forest, he yelled in a furious voice. Why did you do such a thing, you mediocre dunces? Asked Professor McGonagall. How dare you? Demanded Professor Snape. And then Draco shrieked, Because I love her. Everyone was quiet. Dumbledore and Professor McGonagall still looked mad, but Professor Snape said, Fine, very well, you may go to your rooms. Draco and I went upstairs while the teachers glared at us. Are you okay, Ebony? Draco asked me gently. Yeah, I guess, I lied. I went to the girls' dorm and brushed my teeth and my hair and changed into a low-cut black floor-length dress with red lace all around it and black high heels. When I came out, Draco was standing in front of the bathroom, and he started to sing I Just Want to Live by Good Charlotte. I was so flattered, even though he wasn't supposed to be there. We hugged and kissed. After that, we said goodnight, and he reluctantly went back to his room. Chapter 6. Author's Note. Shut up, preps, okay? P.S. I will not update until you give me good vows. The next day, I woke up in my coffin. I put on a black mini skirt that was all ripped around the end, and a matching top with red skulls all over it, and high-heeled boots that were black. I put on 2 pairs of skull earrings and 2 crosses in my ears. I spray painted my hair with purple. In the Great Hall, I ate some Count Chocula cereal with blood instead of milk and a glass of red blood. Suddenly, someone bumped into me. All the blood spilled over my top. Bastard! I shouted angrily. I regretted saying it when I looked up, because I was looking into the pale, white face of a gothic boy with spiky black hair with red streaks in it. He was wearing so much eyeliner that I was going down his face, and he was wearing black lipstick. He didn't have glasses anymore, and now he was wearing red contact lenses, just like Draco's, and there was no scar on his forehead anymore. He had a manly stubble on his chin. He had a sexy English accent. He looked exactly like Joel Madden. He was so sexy that my body went all hot when I saw him, kind of like an erection, only I'm a girl, so I didn't get one, you sicko. I'm so sorry, he said in a shy voice. That's all right. What's your name? I questioned. My name's Harry Potter, although most people call me Vampire these days, he grumbled. Why? I exclaimed. Because I love the taste of human blood, he giggled. Well, I'm a vampire, I confessed. Really? He whimpered. Yeah, I roared. We sat down to talk for a while. Then Draco came up behind me and told me he had a surprise for me, so I went away with him.
Well, thanks so much for reading that. That was such an interesting experience.
It really is an experience. I mean, as it says here, there's no words that can describe this, so just click on the link and brace yourself for shocking content.
It was a real hoot. I had not read it until you proposed it for this, and I have now read 15 chapters of this book. Why did you why did you want to bring this one to read?
I wanted to bring it just because it was an early internet experience for me. I feel like it was one of those things that I found really early on, but then just keeps on being recycled and brought back up. It's surprising to me that you had never read it before because I feel like I keep encountering it. It's one of those things that just keeps on being remade again and again. People love to even Scott Alexander, has a post about it.
I've now read Scott's post on it, where I think it was an early in his career of doing kind of Kabbalistic, finding patterns between things, which definitely should not have any patterns between them, as he compares it to ancient alchemical texts. I saw some YouTube videos where people play acted it in wonderful ways. It seems to really. It's the peak of whatever genre that is. There's many Harry Potter fan fictions. I've read a few. They do things like cut immediately to the bits they want and insert the parts of culture that they would like and use Harry Potter for whatever particularly they care about. Here, goth culture.
Goth culture, yeah. And there's something really special to me in this one about the author's notes and the way that she's talking to her audience, and clearly is getting a ton of hate at the time that she's writing it, but also like doesn't give a fuck and is like telling her readers that they'd better give her good reviews or she's not going to keep posting. And I guess it's working because she's getting her good reviews and then posting the next chapter.
And all the author's notes to very specific people, typed in even worse type than the normal posting.
Yes, the author's notes are the worst, like, written parts of it. And ironically, she, like, thanks her friend for helping her with the spelling in the author's note.
Yeah, I think she attempts to write the word masturbated and then says masticated the first time, and then later spells it more correctly but still incorrectly, and then has an author's note saying, thanks to so-and-so for spelling, I hope that's right. I love all the malapropisms in it, where she says the Forbidden Forest, where Draco took my virility. I love all the insults. You mediocre dunces, cried Professor McGoggle. Yeah.
And just a lack of respect for the source material as well. We didn't get to it, but she's later, like a lot of the characters, just she calls completely different names. Like Ron, she has a totally different name for.
Abelo.
Yeah, Lupin is like Lupin, spelled differently.
Hagrid is Hagrid. That reminded me of when, it's not really relevant, but when Politico did a piece about effective altruism and they called Holden Karnofsky Harold Karnofsky. I was like, oh, they seem to have similar styles of choosing names. So when did you were, I think, a teenager when you read it?
I was a teenager, so it was originally published on fanfiction.net, but I did not read it there. I read some reposts of it on Tumblr. I read all my Harry Potter fanfiction on Tumblr.
Okay.
That's where I was finding it.
Yeah. You still read Tumblr? When were you most active on Tumblr?
I was most active on Tumblr like 2011 to like 2015. I think I am still on Tumblr, but
Nice.
I was
Tumblr also owned by the same company that runs
WordPress.com.
Yeah. How was the reception of it like on Tumblr? Were you reading a lot of Harry Potter fanfiction or a lot of goth stuff?
I would say a decent amount of both. I definitely am interested in like sociology and like just like what are people up to.
Right.
And Tumblr is a great place to explore and just see what are people doing. And there's so much Harry Potter fanfic, like really so much of it. It was definitely an interesting avenue to explore like what are people's fantasies and like what are people interested in, and the popularity of My Immortal I think sort of like speaks to how interested people are in that horror, that goth aspect.
Yeah.
But also the humor of it.
So yeah, what was it? Do you recall where you were or when you were reading it was or like what was going on at the time, or did you speak to anyone about it, or was it entirely an online thing?
I think it was really an online thing for me. If anything, I think it was sort of like going online as a retreat from like feeling like feeling like I didn't have people in my life to relate to. So I wanted to go online and be like, what are people up to on here?
Finally, someone is speaking my truth. I feel like your writing on Slime Mold is much more fun than almost any other science blog. You guys are having fun whilst you're doing basically everything that you were doing.
Definitely having fun is a core value. And
here in Haven, you're constantly just like, cool, all right, we've managed to recreate a clever psychology experiment using some wine and some, flavorings, and we would like to get everyone to do it. And it's just kind of a fun evening activity. It seems to be like how half of real science gets done by you guys, which is really fun.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely believe that I wake up to at least 2 miracles every day, being alive and then being able to post whatever the fuck I want on the internet. And I think nothing represents being able to post whatever the fuck you want on the internet better than My Immortal.
There. When have you felt that? When have you felt that in your writing? Which things have felt most like, yeah, I just get to do this. I get to have fun and write this on in.
Honestly.
I liked your Donnie Darko piece. That felt like...
That was a good review, yeah. That was definitely a good movie review.
Yeah. I feel like the potato diet also had this, like, you made how many people ended up eating potatoes for like a month?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
It was at least dozens. I don't know if it was 100.
Because I can't remember exactly either, but way more than expected. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Did you were there any other any other good Harry Potter fan fictions that you read that had similar?
Honestly, most of the Harry Potter fanfiction that I read was extremely explicit. That's really what I found out by reading fanfiction is that people are horny,
Yep, that makes sense. Especially have been on Tumblr.
especially on Tumblr in like the early 2010s. Yeah, I mean Tumblr has like changed the rules about what's allowed on there now,
Yeah, a little bit.
but back in the day,
Yep.
it was the Wild West.
Um, did you enjoy discovering Slice Codex's piece on My Immortal?
I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really one of his funniest pieces, in my opinion.
Did you write much on the internet at the time when you were reading this, or on Tumblr?
No, I was a big lurker as a teenager, I think. Just like to look at what other people would do. I actually like burned a lot of my juvenilia. Like I like to write things in notebooks and then I would burn them when they were full.
Like a line from this story. Yeah, no, I enjoy getting to do very silly things on the internet where run less wrong, where people are very argumentative about details and facts. But once a year on April Fools, we always do something extremely silly. I think the first year we made everyone's font size proportional to their karma on the website to give people more speech and more influence over the site. But since then we've done things like releasing whole AI generated albums each year and so on. I remember a few times in a row a guy was like, "You crazy fools, you actually did this." And he'd forgotten he'd said that the previous year. I guess, I mostly was just curious about things that felt more free to you to do after reading this as a result. And whether there are any other particular posts on Slimemold, Time Mold that you had especially good fun with that you think you might not have written had you not felt this much freedom.
I mean, I feel like part of the ethos of Slime Mold, Time Mold is like taking that spirit of fun and trying to put it even into our most serious posts. I think even in our most intellectual serious posts, we have really silly, stupid memes.
Yeah. And I like I don't know the writing style of this thing, I don't know if it's one person. There's been rumors that it was like, in fact, a person had an editor and they were like going for this. But it might just be a random teenage girl chatting with her friends. It seems to be the person really knows what they're doing. They do like manage to nail it consistently for at least the chapters I read, the first 15. They like just have the things that they want to talk about. They get straight to them, which is good writing advice. Just jump straight to the good bits, which is the clothes, the date, and the crazy characters. Yeah. And then I think these things, even if they are not great writing, if they attain a massive fandom, they like almost like set like the mythos of a small culture or something like that, where everyone is referring to all the key bits and trying to live in alignment with what the characters would do in this very interestingly written piece of writing.
I mean, it's had remarkable staying power. It's, I think, 20 years old now, and here we are talking about it. And at Inkhaven, basically everybody knows what it is still.
Yeah, I kept telling people, for my job, I now have to read My Immortal Harry Potter fanfiction, and everyone laughed. Great. I really like the use of ellipses in the thing. It was like the guy came flying through the air. He had no nose like Voldemort in the fourth movie. It was ... Voldemort. Yeah.
Yeah, the author definitely has a good sense of the dramatic tension.
Yep. You despicable snobs, you horny simpletons, abracadabra, Allah cadavra for the Muslims reading apparently. Basically like Voldemort in the movie just before introducing Voldemort in the fourth movie. The flying car, which is I guess there is a flying car in Harry Potter. Yeah, she keeps just renaming the characters for no apparent reason. Hermione's true surname was Smith, and she changed it to Mary, and she's Bloody Mary Smith.
Bloody Mary Smith.
But she had fun with it. Anyway, well, thanks so much for introducing this to me and telling me about how it influenced you as a teenager.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful. Done. End. We did it. Hurrah. Nailed it. Before we wrap up, I'd just like to thank our sponsor for this episode, WordPress.com. As a teenager, many of the blogs I grew up reading were built using WordPress, such as Slaystar Codex, Don't Worry About the Vase, and Shtetl Optimized. The co-founder of WordPress, Matt Mullenweg, went on to build WordPress.com, a hosting service that supports bloggers. It provides an interface that allows you to design your website and to use the near infinite family of libraries and plugins that have been built for WordPress. If you're someone who cares to be able to design your own blog for your ideas, for your writing, and for your own aesthetic, then by far one of the best options on the internet today is WordPress.com.